I have a question for you. Who are you? It may seem like a simple question, but still, really think about it for a moment. You probably thought of your name and your age first. Maybe you thought quickly of where you're from. Maybe you thought about your hobbies, something you're really good at. Maybe you're so good at this one class and you don't even have to try. Maybe you just know you're playing D1, whatever sport at university. Maybe you're the life of the party or someone everyone comes to for advice. So, I have a follow up question. Who are you really? I mean, without all that stuff. Who are you when you get that easy question wrong in class? Who are you when you get injured and can't play that sport anymore? Who are you when the lights turn on at the party and everyone's gone home? Who are you when people are in good places and no longer need you for advice? Who are you then? I'm not asking because I have the answer. Actually, I'm asking because I don't. Who am I under the surface? I can confidently say I have no idea. To the first question, I can tell you the basic facts about myself. Here we go. My name is Em, short for Emily Kate, and I'm 17. I was born in England but moved here when I was 11. I have an older brother named Ben. I love shrimp, I hate tomatoes. I love the color green, I hate pink. I love English, I hate science and math. But what if that isn't true though? I ate shrimp for 5 days straight 2 summers ago and swore I'd never eat it again. What if I like blue more than green? What if I actually liked biology? What if I didn't hate math? Okay, no, I still don't like math. My point is that I have no idea about anything ever. If you ask any of my friends, or any of my philosophy class for that matter, they'll tell you that I have an existential crisis a few times a day. But here's my theory. I don't think we're supposed to know who we are. I used to think I knew exactly who I was, but looking back, I was so wrong. All of the things I thought I knew about myself changed. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that a lot of people my age are in a similar boat. And this brings me to the point of this speech. We need to stop being afraid of not knowing. Let's go back a little bit to learn about why I feel like I'm qualified to tell you any of this. I should warn you now that not all of my story is happy, but hey, I'm recording my chapel speech alone in my room, so I don't have to avoid awkward eye contact with any of you. And besides, it's my life. Like I said, I was born in England. As a kid, my family joked that I was the unluckiest person in my class, and it was true. Here's the part where I say something that'll make you cringe. I wasn't like the other girls. I know, but I don't mean it in a I'm so special and quirky kind of way. I mean that by pure bad luck, everyone in my class at school was ultra sporty with little to no interest in reading and writing. As you can guess, I was neither of those things. I hated sports and preferred staying indoors to read. It's probably no surprise to you that I started to get bullied for this. Kids don't like different. I quickly decided that if I was more like them, the bullying would stop. So I tried my best to change. Little 6-year-old Em spent hours on the trampoline trying to learn how to do the splits or do a cartwheel like the girls in my class. 6-year-old Em fell. A lot. Anyway, try as I might, I just couldn't fit in. Because of this, I started developing anxiety. My feelings were worsened when my parents got divorced. Look, this is the part where I do spare you the details. You're welcome. But it was messy and not a super fun time in my life. I was 11 when the divorce was finalised, but soon after we realised we would have to move. Our options weren't looking good until my mum suggested moving to Canada, where she was from. We did an interview with Appleby over Skype, in which I told the admissions that my greatest hero was Winston Churchill, by the way, and then we were on a plane. I was so sure that leaving behind my on and off bullies and my family drama would free me from the clutches of panic attacks, but I was wrong. I had started a new country and I thought that I could change with it. I was incorrect. Things got worse. Middle school was dark in a whole bunch of different ways, and by this time I had severe depression and anxiety. I didn't know how to ask for help. Again, I'll spare you the details, but by the end of grade 7, my place at Appleby was in jeopardy. No one was sure, including me, that I would be able to handle the work. The short version of this story is that I was given another chance, and here I am, 5 years later. I wasn't fixed with the flick of a wand, but that second chance showed me that I needed to change the way I was treating myself. I'd love to give you some magical concoction of how I overcame mental illness, but I'm not sure what it was. It wasn't just one thing. It was my teachers, specifically Miss Jelinek, who was actually the first person to notice me getting better. It was music and art. It was my family and friends. It was realizing that I had absolutely no idea who I was anymore, but that I deserved to stay alive long enough to find out. After that, all of my energy went into healing myself. It took a long time, and whatever identity I had was gone. It was up to me to create myself again. So I did. I slowly relearned my hobbies and who I was as a person in general. I was too confident, though, that I knew myself. I was sure of a lot of things, including that I was going to be a medic in the army. I know. I was sure that this time I had it right, that I knew myself better than anyone. I was still wrong. Let's fast forward to the summer between grade 9 and 10 when things changed again. One night, my mum woke up with unbelievable pain in her stomach and was rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery. 2 weeks later, we got a call from the doctors, and I'm sure you can guess where this is going. Yep, cancer. In a weird twist, though, the type of cancer she had was rare and slow growing, usually not caught until its later stages. Somehow, even though the tumour was small, it had twisted just enough to give her this pain, and it probably saved her life. That summer was pivotal in another way too. I went on a month-long exchange to Tasmania, Australia. The solo journey was not easy. It included my passport being detained in LA and border officials trying to send me back to Canada because my dog had chewed the corner of the photo page. Somehow, I got to Australia in one piece and made some incredible friends. I was a different person after that summer, but still, I was determined to cling on to my old self because I didn't want to admit that I had changed. 2 things happened that changed my mind. The first was a trip I took to Florida with 2 of my friends in November of grade 10. It was an amazing trip, but on the second night, I had a huge panic attack that came out of nowhere. I was ashamed that it had even happened, and it shook my confidence in a big way. The second thing was my mum. After her diagnosis, she started again. She's gone from lawyer to arts and crafts business owner to child protection work. Then, after her diagnosis, she became a kickboxing coach and a health coach to help others through what she went through. She's also currently cancer-free. If you think this has turned into a Melissa Merchant appreciation speech, it totally has, by the way. Her willingness to reinvent her life showed me that I could do the same if I wanted. And after the trip to Florida, I realized that clinging so hard to my identity had caused more problems than being unsure of myself ever had. See, the whole point of this speech is that change can be a good thing if you let it, even when it's because of external factors that you have no control over. I have a pretty hard time with not having control, and I won't pretend I'm over that. These last few months have been a pretty constant reminder. I'm realizing now, even as I write this speech, that uncertainty is one of my biggest fears, but all I can do is control how I react to it. I'm also realizing now how much I sound like my mother. You have to roll with the punches because that's what high school and life as a whole is about. I know we're all sad about missing school, but we just have to enjoy what we can because we have so much time. Besides, I actually think my teachers will enjoy class with me more now that I have a mute button. As I said earlier, I have no idea about anything ever. Here's one thing I do know. Uncertainty is the one certainty in life. Sometimes all you can do is be comfortable with that. To the senior ones, savor the time you have left. Trust me when I say that you don't know a good thing until it's gone. Your final year will fly by and you'll find yourself unsure at many turns. Be okay with things changing because they will. You'll end up a vastly different person because of it, and that's a good thing. Find a way to connect in spite of all these obstacles and thank me later. To the class of 2020, I'm sorry we didn't get those final moments of high school that we were all looking forward to. We've all heard from previous graduates that something clicks in the last few months that makes everything worth it. Like I said though, we have so much time, and don't be upset if things aren't panning out the way you wanted them to. I can't say for sure if it'll work out because, like I said, I don't know. But my piece of advice to you is to make like Tame Impala and let it happen. Lose your way and be okay with that because it's such an important part of life. Cheesy, but true. I'm still learning who I am just as much as anyone else is, but I've decided to stop trying to hide the learning process. Sometimes I don't know, and that's okay. So, who am I really? I'm me, I'm here, and I think that's enough. And now we will end with the hymn, Lion and Lamb.